Candid, captivating, compelling. Welcome to Cannabis Confidential with Dr. Dina. Listen in as Dr. Dina, medical marijuana pioneer and inspiration for the award-winning TV series Weeds, shares never-before-heard stories, chats with cannabis insiders and celebrity friends, and provides invaluable perspective and insight into one of the fastest-growing industries in the world. CannabisRadio.com proudly presents Cannabis Confidential with your host, Dr. Dina.
Welcome to Cannabis Confidential. I'm your hostess with the mostest when it comes to weed and hash, Dr. Dina. Thank you for joining me so much for another awesome episode. Today we have, I always love to bring in the musicians because, I really feel that musicians are almost more connected to cannabis than the average everyday user, because musicians really need that extra creativity and they can appreciate how cannabis can unlock that part of your brain and bring you into this world of imagination and creativity to write and to imagine notes and to create music that becomes ultimately my favorite music. So today we have another amazing guest. His name is Shavo from System of a Down. Welcome, Shavo. So
hey, thanks for having me, Dina. Thank you so much. Love to be here.
Well, this is super exciting, super exciting. So we've been Instagram friends now for a good while. And, we've run into each other. Super excited every time I see you. But it's one thing that, just knowing that you embrace the lifestyle that I've worked so hard to create and to mold for the last 16 years. And I've always been the person that gets judged because I'm the one opening up the dispensary and I'm on what they call Front Street, really putting their face out. And when you see an artist that basically joins forces with you in the movement, it's the most exciting thing. I think a lot of people can see that as they could be intimidated and they could be nervous, like, oh, this person's going to push us out. But to me, I see so much promise for the future because the more people that are powerful, that are on our side, the more people we can get to listen. And so you now have launched this amazing new product, new line, new brand on the market, and it's called 22 Red LA, correct?
It's called 22 Red. Yeah, the LA is
22 Red. That's the website, right?
It's the LA is the website, and also it's the page on Instagram. We named it 22 Red LA because it's based out of LA.
I'm lighting a joint in the honor of 22 Red right now. I'm super excited. So I know that what you guys have done is different from what most brands in the cannabis industry are trying to do. Most people are just trying to sell cannabis products, right? Yes. But I've noticed that you're really different. You're trying to really create more of a lifestyle based on using it. And it's not just about the cannabis. It's about, the clothing, the feel, the quality, and living that life.
So of it,
the aesthetic, I really appreciate that.
Hell yeah, thank you so much. I do too, that's why.
And they all want to hear this. They all want to hear about this because no one's really doing this.
Yeah, to me, years ago when cannabis, became medically legal, everyone was asking me to join, do this, do that, have a strain. We can always name a strain after a system. We'll name it after a system song or after your name. There's the OGs. They want to name it Shavo OG and all these things. And, it sounded interesting, but it wasn't really something I thought it was about.
But that's what we did back in the day, Shavo.
Yeah, and
came into the dispensary and you liked to weed, we name it after you.
Named it after you. And it was cool, though, but I just kind of wanted it to be more... If I was ever involved, I wanted it to be a little more real and serious and not just have someone just name a weed after me, sell it, and then benefit off of it. You know what I mean? It was more for me where I wanted it to be a part of it, where I can actually quality control it and be that guy that I can say, no, that's not what I want to represent, or yes, that's what I want to represent. So me and one of my partners, his name is Mike, him and I have been talking. I've known him since I was 5-6 years old. We've been always talking about doing something together, having a project together. He is based out of Hollywood, and he owns a manufacturing plant for clothing. So he's the guy that, say, you want to start a brand, a clothing brand. You go to him, you take 4 designs, and you say, look, I want these in this style and that style and this type of T-shirt and that fabric, and boom, there's a factory in Hollywood. He makes it, so all USA made.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Material you want. Yeah, we make everything here. So we were going to do just a clothing brand of quality goods, And that led to my third partner coming in, my second partner coming in, who's an amazing grower in LA. He's been around since 05, 06 growing. And when I realized how serious he is and how amazing his style and quality is of the stuff he grows, and our heads aligned. It was like, let's do a lifestyle brand where we could do the clothing we wanted, Mike, and me and my other partner could do the quality cannabis, because it's time. I feel like now it's time. I feel comfortable doing it. It's not like someone's telling me to do it. It's like me saying, I want to do this. And it's the time where I have time. System's not touring so much. We're not actually doing the record just yet. So I have the time. I don't like sitting around. I can't sit around. Yes, I do have 3 kids, so that doesn't let me sit around too much. But that other time, I like to have a goal, have something I'm doing. So, when you start something, sometimes momentum kicks in. Well, as it kicked in, I also started getting busy in the studio with my own music. I started creating more. My artistic side lifted to another level. I teamed up with these 2 guys, started a whole new, it's not a group, it's more of a production unit where we just make beats and but different because I'm guiding them with bass lines, where before a band plays and the bass line, bass plays with the band, or a beat, you play a beat and then a bass line goes with the beat. This is bass lines and then beats written behind the bass line, like the bass line leads the beat, if you know what I mean. So having said that, that led to a new aspect of 22 Red that I'm about to announce here. We're going to release an imprint, 22 Red Music, which is going to be what I know. So this is a real lifestyle now, where I have fashion, I have music, and I have cannabis. And it's all kind of under the same umbrella of what I represent, which is quality. And that's how I can put it best.
Well, first of all, I'm super excited that you chose Cannabis Confidential and Cannabis Radio to make this exciting announcement, because this is really making it like a trifecta. You're like a triple threat.
Well, I knew I was talking to you.
Industry.
Yeah. I knew I was talking to you, so I want to do something special here, because I dig you.
Well, I appreciate it so much, and you're amazing, and I'm so excited to see what happens with this, because, very few brands really can grasp the concept of lifestyle brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Agreed.
Being an artist, you have traveled the world, right? And you have tried cannabis all over the place.
Everywhere.
This is why I love smoking with musicians, because they've been everywhere and they've tried everything, and that's what makes a true connoisseur, essentially. So you really you've put your time in. You've earned your
stripes. It kind of chose me. I swear it chose me, because everywhere we went back in the day, there was really scarce, So we would, whatever we can get, we would smoke, And I remember times like, for example, in Greece, where there's no weed, but we found it, and I swear every hit made your forehead hurt, but we did it still because I don't even know if we were smoking weed, but it was something like, you know what I mean? But it was like,
right, but it was a victory. You found it.
It was a victory because we found it. So I've gone from that to being at a table with Arjan from Strain Hunters, King of Cannabis, Greenhouse Cafe in 99. Arjan Ruskin, tasting his harvest in his apartment. I mean, with the nose, with all the owners of all the dispensaries, with these heads, and actually tasting, and
that's how you know you made it,
touching. But this was like 20 years ago I'm talking, and that was like a surprise, and it wasn't really making it. It was more like I was honored to be invited to be on that panel or that table. It was like a Thanksgiving table. I think it's online. You can catch it on YouTube.
I totally know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? That moment was the best. That made me who I am now, because in this business, because that's when I realized, you know what, this is amazing. It's like, the first time when you start drinking and you've been drunk, blah, blah, then you realize there's wine, and you're like, wow, there's so many different flavors of wine. This makes me feel like this makes it bolder, this makes food taste a certain way, this does that to this. So I kind of realized that 20 years ago, and I've been going ever since, flying like that and trying to find everything. When I hit the place up, it wouldn't be like, oh, let me get a quarter of that. It's more like, let me get an eighth of that, an eighth of that, an eighth of that, an eighth of that, and let me taste it all, then buy an ounce of whatever or you know what I mean? It's more of, I'd like to taste it. I'd like to know what it's like. Smell matters to me. The way it affects my head matters to me. There's trichomes. There's things in there that people don't know about that affect the brain differently, Makes so I'm all about that.
what you did was essentially the equivalent of like constantly like doing a High Times Cup judge, of judging like every category constantly. And it's hard work. And a lot of people don't realize that. I've done my time. I like to say, I judged the indica concentrate category for High Times a couple years ago in Denver.
How did you stay awake after the third one?
I'm hardcore.
You're hardcore.
I'm hardcore, but I did notice a couple things. First, every time I looked down, my pants were unzipped. Like I could not remember to zip my pants after I went to the bathroom.
Wow.
But like every time, and I'm like, is my zipper broken? Like that's the one. Like I kept going, what is wrong with me? And then I just remember being really tired. But I went through 56 samples. There was actually 57. One was a syringe, and I went to squeeze it to see like how thick it was, and it was very liquidy and ended up spraying all over the ceiling of my hotel room. Which, funny story, I know 3 people that have stayed in that same exact room after me because they take a picture of the ceiling and it's still all over the ceiling.
That's so freaking funny.
At the Westin in Denver, yeah.
Where is that, Denver, you said? Because I might stay there once.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get you, I know, I'll get you a good place in Denver if you want to stay. They don't let you smoke anywhere now. It's like everyone's getting on you.
Yeah, they are. Sometimes we have to we just had a show in Mexico City, and even there, the windows were shut, and we kind of pried one of the windows open, kind of like unbolted it with screwdrivers, because you know how they bolted in with the screwdriver, 2 screws, So you just got to unscrew that, open it up by the time you're there, and then you can put it right back in. Yeah, another thing, you can get the shower cap. You can get the shower cap from the bathroom and wrap it around the smoke detector, right?
Alarm. That's like Stoner 101.
Then you got to wet a towel and put it
under the doorway.
Under the doorway. That's a hotel tricks, right? You know
this is so funny. I know them all. But we have to run to a quick commercial break. When we get back, we're going to talk about more Stoner tricks from Shavo with System of a Down, 22 Red. Everyone go check it out in the meantime. But we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Cannabis Confidential with Dr. Dina will continue after a word from our most confident sponsors.
Now available for pre-order through crowdfunding for just $14 plus $10 shipping. Pouches, premium mixing and rolling pouches, allow you to carry and prepare your herbs for consumption with discretion and ease. These stylish pouches are handcrafted using strong zips, long-wearing buffalo leather outside, and smooth sheepskin inside. A portion of proceeds go to fund vital medical research into cannabis for ADHD. See a demo and get yours now on Indiegogo or pouches.com. That's POUCHZ.com.
Strainwise Consulting is the most sought-after consulting company for cannabis business applications and management contracts. We consulted on the first recreational license in the world and have had an over 95% success rate on applications submitted. The industry is growing at such an exponential rate that building a powerful and lasting cannabis business is a #1 priority. Here's Strainwise's Sean Eubanks.
In our first 5 years, we branded and supported 9 medical and recreational marijuana dispensaries and approximately 160,000 square feet of sophisticated and efficient product cultivation.
Strainwise Consulting has the experience and expertise to guide you through the process.
The next generation of vaporizers has arrived. Vuber vaporizers are blazing the way with unparalleled technology for oil, concentrate, or dry flower pens. Providing unsurpassed customer service and expert craftsmanship, Vuber vaporizers use cutting-edge technology, providing a power-packed, smoother vapor with a lifetime guarantee. Experience vaporizing the way it was meant to be. The Vuber way.
Dr. Dina is back with more Cannabis Confidential, only on CannabisRadio.com.
And we're back. I'm Dr. Dina, and you're listening to Cannabis Confidential. Today we have Shavo from System of a Down. We're talking about Stoner 101 techniques. We're going to be talking about Halloween, which was yesterday. It was so much fun. Shavo, you were giving out candy to all the kids in the neighborhood?
We gave out candy, and then it was our turn to go out trick-or-treating, and I'd take my kids, and then we invited some of their friends and a couple of their cousins over and kind of had our own thing, and then we went out in the streets and trick-or-treated, and it's funny, when we trick or treat, and I'm like right there with the kids, making sure everything's safe, and the door opens, and people like they're first giving candy, and then they look up and they're like a double take, like, is that the dude from that band? And it's really funny just to get the reactions. It's really hilarious.
Oh, I'm sure, right? They're
then
like,
they talk to me and they start taking pictures with me. Yeah, it's hilarious. Like the parents are taking pictures with me of the kids. It's great.
That's awesome. Well, you must be so much fun to be a dad. Oh my gosh.
Oh man,
you are just.
I pride myself. I think that's
fun.
the best thing I do. Yeah.
Yeah, and no one ever dies thinking like I should have spent more time working.
No, you always say, listen.
You always
so
want to spend more time with your family.
Always,
and
always, and I try to balance it.
You have to balance it.
Yeah.
One gives the other. The more success you have, the more time you have away from your kids, but you could also give your kids a great life. So it's a tough battle for most people. Mm-hmm. But spending time with them on Halloween and little things like that, it's amazing. Have you talked to your kids about cannabis?
Actually, that's funny you brought that up. So I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 6-month-old, right? And of course, because I'm in the
6-month-old obviously is an expert.
Has no clue. The 6-month-old knows all about weed. Yeah. But my 7-year-old and the 5-year-old's really curious about everything I do. He's got that side of me. He's like wants to play the guitar. He wants to be a performer. He wants to draw. He wants to paint. He wants to everything. Whatever Dad does, I want to do. He has long hair. You say pose, he'll give you the devil horns. It's crazy. Well, he watches everything I do really carefully. And so he'll ask, and I have my dad smokes cigarettes, which I'm really trying to make him stop already, and so they know smoking exists, right? They've seen smokers and stuff. So when they would see me smoke my, joints and stuff outside, they wouldn't if they ever had a glimpse of it, they would just think I'm just doing the normal smoking a cigarette.
Exactly.
Yeah, but recently they've seen me smoke let's say the vape pen or something. And I told them, I'm just trying to let them know, this is like medicine, I've said. And I've also put in the thing of this is for adults. When you're 21 and over, you can think about this. It's just like, everything else, alcohol, all that stuff. So I'm not trying to make it so forbidden and so the way I've been raised, the way they raised me was cannabis is the same as cocaine, is the same as heroin. Yeah,
right.
It's terrible. Things that
But it's almost made you want to use it too, because it was
kind of. Actually,
right?
I was
a little bit.
Good kid. I was actually a good kid and never did. Be honest with you, I always listened and didn't really. I actually listened and I believed. I really thought it was awful. I remember holding my breath. Sometime there was this older kid on my block, and I was a skater, and in Hollywood, and there was this older kid that was a stoner, and he'd be smoking, and I'd pass by him, and sometimes I've seen him blow smoke in my face, and I used to hold my breath and hope that it didn't affect me. I didn't know, I had a very conservative mom. So yeah, I don't want to give him that. I started smoking at 21 years old, first time.
Yeah, see, it's interesting because I recently had a sit down with my 13-year-old nephew who does not know what I do for a living, and I'm terrified that his mom kept saying, he's a really straight kid, and if he finds out what you do, he's going to disown you, basically. He's going to be scared of you or something. So I'm like, how do I talk to this kid? So I sat him down, and I'm like, hey, do you guys talk about drugs in school? And he goes, yeah, we've talked about drugs. And I said, do they talk about marijuana? And he goes, yeah. And I said, what do they teach you? He said, it's for people who are 21 and over and people who are sick.
Well, that's good.
And I'm like, oh.
That's amazing.
I felt so less stressed. And I go,
hey, that just made me feel good.
I have a store and we sell marijuana to people. And he goes, okay, whatever, not
all
cool.
Good, right?
Could care less.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, the kids nowadays, that's what it's going to be like for them. And it's really, it's so amazing to hear, and it's amazing to think that,
because it's been illegal for medical their entire life.
Yeah.
We didn't have that.
In California? No, we did not have that. When it went
you
legal,
and I
was busy doing my...
I'm assuming you and I are about the same age. Okay,
pretty much,
I grew up in the Valley. I went to Montclair College Preparatory School, graduated in 93. I remember
we're exactly the same age. I think you're a little younger than me. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, so I remember when you first came out, it was a big fucking deal, and you guys embrace music that defined a certain period of my life. I think of Toxicity. I think of 2000 and
1,
2, even 1 and 2 and 3. Those were the years.
That album. That album came out a week before 9/11, and what happens in SoundScan, the way it used to be is album sales, CD sales. So you would get the CD tally. So albums would drop on Tuesdays, back then only. And then the Wednesday after is when you would get like how many albums you sold that week. Like the Billboard would come out the top, the charts.
Right.
And so on 9/11 came out that we're number one on Billboard. So I woke up the morning of 9/11. I turned the TV. We were going to go on a tour called, okay, check this coincidence out. We were headed on a tour that week out with Slipknot called the Pledge of Allegiance Tour. Okay? And so I was at home, and, before a tour, I sometimes get, like, kind of homey, and I don't want to answer the phone. I just want to, like, feel home as much as more I can, because the way we used to tour before is, like, they'd take us out and now bring us back for months, so I'd miss people at home, miss my bed, miss everything. So I didn't want to answer the phone. The phone's ringing off the hook. It's like 9 a.m. Finally, I answered the phone. It's my manager, and he goes, "Congratulations." I go, "What?" He goes, "You just hit number one on Billboard. You just debuted number one on." I was like, "Whoa!" Right?
Wow.
And then my phone clicks. There's another call. I pick it up, and it's my friend going, "Turn the TV on." I turn the TV on, and it's the Towers, and I see it happen.
No.
Same, like 2 minutes. Maybe 3 minutes. So what a bittersweet moment, you would say, right? It really
I can't even believe that.
Just talking about it, I got chills. Just telling you, and I haven't told the story for a while. So so that was such a bittersweet thing for me. And and then our tour got postponed for at least, a month, I think, because actually our crew.
Well, you couldn't fly anywhere.
No, but that's crazy because that day, 9/11, our crew was flying out to go handle the first stages of the tour, and they got like stopped at the airport, and they had no idea. You know what I mean? They had shut the airport down right where they were entering it. Craziness. So that is
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those days very clearly.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, when the older we get, the more we like appreciate how precious life is. And how short it can be for people, because life just goes so quickly, especially when you have kids. You see them grow up, and it's like time goes by so quickly.
It's incredible.
For me, I don't have that as much, but it's incredible. I look at my nephew. I'm like, how is this possible? You were just like born 2 seconds ago.
Yeah. I swear, I look at my kids, and it's amazing. I kind of like before when they were babies, I was like the boys. I was like, I can't wait till they grow up to a point where I can play with them and this and that. Now they're at that age. I'm like, come on, go back now. Now I always want to hold you instead of you guys running around causing a ruckus. And then I'm gonna blink and they're gonna be 13. I'm gonna blink again, they're gonna be 18, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do. So.
And it's crazy too, because when I first started in the industry, it was so new. There were no rules. There was I went to the city of West Hollywood and said, "Hey, can I open a dispensary?" And they said, "Go for it."
That's amazing.
I'm like, "Is there a license?" They're like, "Thank you." That was 16 years ago, almost 17 years ago in January. And I look at how long we stood still. We were stagnant for 15 years. It felt that nothing was happening. It was the same, no rules, anything kind of went. And the lack of respect. People didn't, we were seen as a drug dealer. In fact, this is actually funny. Some guy, my husband went out last night with a bunch of friends and for Halloween on Santa Monica Boulevard. And
I've been there.
Right.
On Halloween.
And so I met them out for a second, and one of the guys who he had just met 30 seconds before, just some random guy, and I guess my husband was telling him all about what I do. He comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, so we do the same thing." And I said, "Really? What do you do?" He goes, "Well, I sell ecstasy and acid."
What?
And I just looked, and I looked at it. I was like, I literally wanted to gouge his eyes out with my
Seriously, that's so bad. What a
I was like, I'm not a drug
I got your
dealer.
back, Dina.
I have never sold drugs in my life. I waited until there was a law in California.
The moment came,
I went to the city of West Hollywood. I got a license. I pay taxes. I'm like, are you serious? But now it's because it's legal. It's everyone's just so. It's everyone's part of it. It's now all the drug dealers feel like it's oh, we're next. I'm like, no.
You put them out of business. No, you're not next, man.
But it's fascinating because I think about as just anyone selling, like this guy who I have no idea even what his name is, but he could sell anything. He doesn't check ID. And you think about all these kids who want to maybe buy some weed, and this is how it was when we grew up. If you wanted to buy weed, you had to call a drug dealer, and that drug dealer had other drugs.
Exactly.
Right? And he's like, "Hey,
we would
I'm
drive
out of
to,
weed today, but I got."
When we started, I started to interrupt you, but I'm just going to add to that. When we started, like the first time I was like actually buying weed, we didn't have any hookups, so we'd have to drive. You know where we'd get it from? Alvarado. We'd have to drive to like Alvarado and Hoover area, Pico. And from some dude on the street, we would get some bud, and they would like come to our window, be like, "Papa, give me, for a nickel sack or a dime sack," and they would come, throw some weed in our hand. I was like, "Give me some more." They'd put some more. Like it's crazy to throw it back. Sometimes we get ripped off. They'd be like, "Hey, like not weed," So we've been through it all, huh? And now.
And now we're here, and now you have this beautiful brand that is lab tested and child-proof and tamper-proof and tamper-evident, excuse me.
Yes.
Following all these regulations by the state of California.
And I'm able to make sure it's what I want. For example, this is something I haven't talked about. So I found a strain that I've been looking for 22 years. No joke, since 96. And it's funny how the 22 comes into play again. But it was this, we would get this bud called we called it Church. All that name, like Aryan. We told him about the church. We told him about the church. But then he kind of tagged the name church. He has his own church.
But that was not the church.
No, the church was kind of a Bubba-ish vibe. Oh, you don't even know. So no one knows that. But
nobody believes
I found it.
Nobody believes
me. I found it, and I'm having it out. I found the church, and but it's another strain. It's the same family. It has the same frankincense when you smoke it out, when you breathe that smoke out. It's the frankincense. It's the perfect hybrid high, perfect where you can have a day and you can have a night and you can have a morning. Not a mess up, not a couch lock. And I seriously, like, the grower didn't even know that's what he had, and he was like, he's such an amazing person, by the way, and we'll talk about that some other time. That guy was just like, "This is yours if you want it. We only grew one, whatever, and you can have that now and like have a So we're we already packed it up in our pre-rolls. We're doing a drop soon of just that, a really limited drop until the rest of the crop. And so now we replanted and we have a whole room going now of the church. So we're bringing it back to LA.
We're going to have to run to a quick commercial break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Shavo from System of a Down and 22 Red.
Cannabis Confidential with Dr. Dina will continue after a word from our most confident sponsors.
Cannabis concentrates have been around for thousands of years. In 19th century America, extracts mixed with other herbs were sold as a miracle cure. Now, Apex Supercritical has elevated the science of extraction into the 21st century. Apex Supercritical is the leader in CO2 extraction, which is the cleanest, safest, and purest way to extract plant oils. ROI in as little as 3 weeks. Our cost-effective systems are fully automated with an industry-leading 3-year warranty. And if we don't have your system in stock, we can build one in as little as 4 weeks, bringing CO2 extraction to the masses. Learn more at APEKSSupercritical.com. 4-week build excludes high production systems.
Introducing Blue Moon CBD, straight from the bluegrass of Kentucky. With our special nano emulsion process, you'll not only get the best CBD available, you'll get more of it. Not all CBD is the same. It's your body. It's your choice. Get relief from inflammation, anxiety, and stress. Go to www.bluemoonhemp.com and use code HEMP420 for a 20% discount on your order. Balance your body. Balance your life. Make it Blue Moon CBD.
Oh, let the marijuana llama tell you something now about a game for your phone gonna make you say, wow! The game's about the game of growing cannabis for cash. Grow the seed till they bud, put the savings in the stash. Little by little, your empire grows large. Put the big celebrities inside your entourage. You can choose to play with Snoop or me or Cheech and Chong, Cypress Hill, Willie Nelson, Wiz Khalifa with a bong. The name of the game is Hemp Inc., that's the point. Download and play while you light yourself a joint. The business of cannabis should be no crime. Hemp Inc. is even hot-proofed by the man who run High Times. Oh yeah? Get it on Android and iOS today. Marijuana Llama out. Got to tend to me own crops, you know. Money don't make itself. Hey, Pink.
Dr. Dina is back with more Cannabis Confidential, only on CannabisRadio.com.
And we're back. I'm Dr. Dina, and you're listening to Cannabis Confidential with Shavo from System of a Down and 22 Red. What other strains are you working with?
Well, we have our OG, which is we're calling it 22 OG, but it's
my favorite
it's right now growing. Yes, mine too. It's well, not Church is mine. I'll be honest, but secondary, it's because OG is like so out there, and it really is the one that gets you high, and the one that actually sets you in the right place for a stoner, right? Because a lot of the new smokers don't smoke OG. It's too powerful.
Oh no, they don't know. Yeah.
No.
And they also don't know like the old strains, but most of these kids these days don't know like the Church or like cat piss or.
Oh yeah, remember that? Oh my God, I haven't heard of that forever.
Like, right?
I haven't. Blast from
that
the
was
past.
Snoop's favorite strain ever.
Was it?
Cat piss. If you could find
I've never smoked with Snoop.
Happy.
I've never smoked with him.
You're kidding me.
Never.
Well,
that's something I want to do. No, we need to do that one day.
Yeah,
I'm just putting it out there in the universe right now. Yeah.
He's not good at sharing though.
It's okay. I have my own. I'll share with him. I'm a sharer. I'm very good at sharing. It's okay. I smoke blunts too. I'm okay with blunts.
Yeah, I'll smoke blunts with him, but that's it.
I don't personally do roll my own blunts. But if someone's smoking a blunt with some good flower in there, I'm very happy to join.
Exactly.
So yeah, more strains.
Well,
So the OG is really a prominent OG. I met a grow group in LA, the Originals. Those guys, like, they're the bomb at OG, and I had them grow a specific strain, a specific type of OG for me.
Is it like the fuely one, the one that tastes like petrol, like gassy? Yeah,
gassy, but it's like the stuff that if you have it with you and it's in a bag, even if it's in a jar that's sealed and you still smell it. It's that.
Oh, that's my favorite.
So the Paco rolls
I want to make a
really
fragrance
nice.
of that. Can we get a Red 22 fragrance? Like a pillow spray?
You know what? Since it's a lifestyle brand, maybe we can have fragrances one day and have the OG.
Yeah, let's do that terp spray. I want to spray it on my pillows before I go to bed at night.
Oh my goodness, I love you.
Dream of OG.
That's great. That's amazing. So yeah, we have that, and then we have a couple of hybrids coming out. There's something we're calling it Sunkissed 22, which just kind of has that whole Hawaii vibe, kind of like it's a daytime Maui vibe. It's very light. It's sativa dominant. It's very fruity and nice.
Is there like some tangy in it or something?
It's not tangy because tangy is very like you know when you're smoking tangy. It's more of like a punchy, not a purple punch, more like a pineapple papaya vibe. You know what I mean? It gives you that tropical feeling. But that one, I'm having an issue with that with pre-rolls, so we're kind of like figuring it out, because you need to the second you harvest that, it's so terpy and it's so in a pre-roll. By the time you smoke halfway, it already kind of clogs because of the amount of crystals that this plant has. So I'm trying to figure out a way so we can have it on the shelves for a little bit, because it's kind of
do blends.
Yeah. So that's what we're trying to figure out on that one. And I mean, we have more. I'm just kind of going to do 2 by 2. Also, here, I'll tell you. There's a specific brand I love, a grower I love. His name is Brett, Wonder Brett. Have you heard of Wonder Brett?
I love him.
I love him too. And so he grew a specific strain for me that I'll be launching. I think that'll be out.
It's going to be great.
Maybe a month from now, hopefully.
I love all his stuff.
Me too. Everything. I swear. He's really specifically great. He's just specific on everything. When you go into his grows, you notice how everything is perfect. There's not a long plant to show up. It's everything. The cones are on. Each cone looks like a replica of the other one, and it's all done organic and natural.
Love it.
Great.
Yeah.
So we have something with him, and then I'm also really good. See, what I've done is I've created a network of people that I really, admire what they do, and I respect their style and the fact that they really like quality. So I link myself with those people, and that's how I'm doing it. I'm gonna have specific small exclusive drops of certain flavors here and there, and then I'll have my OG and I'll have the Sunkissed and stuff always going. But there'll be certain strains that come and go.
Exactly.
Yes, and the Church will be around.
Core.
I'm gonna make the Church something that's always around. Yeah, that's my favorite.
I'm sure people like some Church. We'll have to bring some Church to Snoop.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Let me know.
I love this. I love it. So tell me more about the clothing that you're doing. There's shirts, there's hats.
Well, there's hats, there's shirts, we're doing hoodies right now. We're going to only drop T-shirts and hoodies soon. Probably the next week and a half, we're going to have the website open with some merch stuff. And like I said, everything is made in America. Everything is actually made in Hollywood. It's quality where we're not buying like T-shirts and printing on them. We're actually making the T-shirts in the factory. Like the cut is ours.
Incredible.
The fabric is ours. We're doing specific cool little details to it. It ain't just
We're not getting American Apparel T-shirts. You're
not getting American Apparel, no. Which, some people do that, and that's fine for them. It's just not up to par with me, and that's it,
Right.
And I kind of want to be in control of it.
Brand.
Yeah.
Now tell me, you're doing vapes also?
Yes, we're starting with 3 disposable flavors, 2 CBD flavors, and that's hemp CBD, so we're going to be able to sell that all over the place. And then we're going to have 3 cartridges, just to start with, 3 different flavors.
Amazing.
And what I'm really trying to do is package that church. Yeah, I'm trying to package the terps on that church, but we just need to grow a lot more. I remember I discovered it when it was we had 1 plant growing, maybe 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. So that's the drop that's going to happen soon of that. Other than that, now that we have it huge, we're going to do the terpenes and get all that stuff and maybe throw that into a cartridge and kind of have church to be the new flavor out there.
Well, I'm thrilled. I'm so excited. Do you know which stores are going to be carrying your product? Are they already in stores?
They're not in stores. I have a slew of them. I've made connections with my favorite ones, and they all, of course, love me and want me to be in their stores. I want the first drop to be like maybe 1 or 2 places for me to be able to go into the store and actually drop there, where I can do a meet and greet the day of. I'm totally going to do that with all the places. I just don't want to spread myself too thin. So I want to start slow, kind of do 1 or 2 exclusive spots, go one place during the morning, one place in the afternoon, and do our drops and see how it goes, and then kind of follow that play wherever we go. And at some point, I really want to do a dispensary tour where I grab my bus and I grab some musicians or some DJ or something. We go and we have little days. You know how they have the customer appreciation days? We're going to have a 22 Red appreciation day where we go and we'll have the bus parked outside. We'll have music playing. People could come in. They could buy whatever. They could hang out a little bit. We could take pictures, sign autographs, do whatever we need to do to be with them, kind of part of the crowd. Because I'm one of them. I'm one of you guys. We're all the same. Just because I'm playing music doesn't mean I'm any better than anyone else. I'm just, I want to bond with everybody.
Well, I love that, and it really shows everyone that you're not just someone who's trying to come into the industry to make money off it, that you really care, that you want to be part of it, and that you're willing to shake hands and get your hands dirty and really work hard. And you're not 100%. Just some guy that sampled a couple types of weed and said, let's do this for a brand. It's like you've done your homework.
I'm seeing those guys. I'm seeing a lot of those guys.
They're out there. There's a lot of them out there. And that's why I really want to differentiate you from those people, because people are going to hear this. They hear celebrity and they go, oh, another celebrity. But you are different. It's like you're in the category with Be Real and Snoop and people who have always been true to the planet. And so everyone needs to come out there and
I've just never let people know. Yeah, I just haven't been as vocal as Snoop or Be Real. And it's kind of cool that I'm out now. It's like there aren't too many rockers, people in the rock world kind of speaking their minds about this, being an advocate of something,
Well, it's never too late. And even though it's legal in California, it's not legal in other places in the U.S. and all over the world. And those people are listening too. And so it just gives them motivation to keep fighting and knowing it's going to come to them sooner or later.
Let's make it
happen.
But
in the meantime, where can people find your product? How can they know what store you're launching at? Where do they follow you?
If they follow me on Instagram and they follow 22 Red LA, so mine is at Shavo Odadjian, and then 22 Red LA, and you guys will be throwing out exclusive dates and locations on all the drops, and when the website will go live with merchandise and product. Right now, you can go on our site. It's 22redla.com, or you can go 22.red, and soon we're going just regular 22red.com. And you can go on there to see all the, things coming up, scheduling of everything. Like I said, we have all the dispensaries ready. We just don't know where we're starting at. We'll know in the next day or two.
So it's like a secret surprise. So you guys have to keep checking and making sure that you do not miss out on this because it's going to be big. And I'm sure everyone's going to get their chance to come and meet you and get a picture. And it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to get you guys over in our stores, too.
Let me know when. I'm down to come there. Hell yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much for listening to Cannabis Confidential. Shavo, you are our weed warrior of the week. Thank you so much for fighting for us.
Thank you so much.
And everyone, you can please give us 5 stars and thumbs up on this recording so we can give you a lot more in the future. And you can follow me in the meantime on Instagram at Dr. Dina 420 and Dr. Dina on Twitter. Thanks so much for joining us today on Cannabis Confidential. Over and out.
The opinions expressed on this CannabisRadio.com program are those of the guests and hosts and do not necessarily reflect those of the staff and management of CannabisRadio.com. Any rebroadcast or redistribution without proper consent of CannabisRadio.com is prohibited.